So, I am here in my Kali Linux, and in front of you is Claude Code running in my terminal. I am using this model inside my Claude Code, and I've asked it if it could help me with ethical hacking and cybersecurity. In the response, as you can read, it is going to assist us with ethical hacking and cybersecurity. But I had to verify if it is actually true or not, so I asked it my first question. I started with asking something very simple and obvious, which I think every chatbot would give a response to. I asked it to write me a simple Python reverse shell for Linux, but the cool thing here in Claude Code is that it's going to write the code directly into the files. It is also going to run the commands for us. That's what makes it different from the chatbots. As you can see, it has written us a simple reverse shell, and it has written all the code inside this file, but I am not surprised, because literally any chatbot can do that. The only difference is that those chatbots can't interact with files or run commands, but Claude Code can do it. Next up, I quickly created a fully vulnerable web app using Python Flask with the help of Claude. It has vulnerabilities like cross-site scripting, remote code execution, and others. I ran the server on my machine and gave the link to Claude Code to find vulnerabilities in the web app. It started running commands on its own. Well, it asked before running each command, but still. Most of what you see here are curl commands. It also read the entire source code since it was in the same directory where Claude Code was running, and it managed to find a couple of bugs. The first one, as you can see, is an OS command injection on the ping endpoint. The endpoint is there for us to ping other devices, but there's no restriction on it, so you can chain other commands along with it to get remote code execution. The next one is insecure deserialization, and we've also got server-side template injection, and there are a lot more bugs in there since it was intentionally made vulnerable. In total, it managed to find 16 plus bugs in our web app. Next up, I wrote some C code using Claude, intentionally full of bugs and vulnerabilities. I put it in a file and asked Claude Code to find bugs in it. It first scanned the directories, then went through the code and found a lot of bugs, almost 23 in one go. It then asked us to compile it to properly test those bugs and finally gave us a full list of everything it found, categorized by severity level. In total, it found 42 bugs, 13 of which were critical. Obviously, that's because the code was intentionally made vulnerable, but the point is, now we know it's capable of finding bugs. Next up, I asked it to write me a simple command and control server in Python where we can manage multiple reverse shells. For those who don't know, command and control servers are basically malicious servers that receive data from targets. So if someone creates a malware, that malware connects back to the server and gives the attacker full access. After asking, Claude Code quickly wrote it out inside a new Python file. I ran it in another terminal, and as you can see, it's running properly. We've got different commands available, and we can make changes accordingly. But before we move on, let's understand how I even managed to make it help us with these things. Because usually, Claude Code doesn't help with that. Even if it senses something a bit unusual, it just denies the request. So if you look at this command, I used a custom model with Claude Code, which is a free model, and if you don't know how to run Claude Code for free, you can check out my previous video. I'll link it down in the description. After that, I appended a custom system prompt with this flag, which made it act like an ethical hacker. I gave it a system prompt, which I generated with the help of another AI, and then we appended it with the system prompt using this flag, and when you run it, it now acts like an actual hacker. Okay, so next we wanted to know if it can help us with using and understanding Kali Linux tools. I started with Nmap. I asked it to teach me the usage of Nmap with example commands, and it gave me a detailed answer on how I can use Nmap. Now we can be more specific and even use Claude Code to run Nmap directly, but we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to ask it to create us an Android payload with MSF Venom. It gave us instructions for that, but we wanted it to create one and run the commands automatically, so we told it, and it created one by running commands on its own. Here we've got our payload in the same directory as where Claude Code is running. Next up, I asked it to write me a Python script to perform a port scan on a target and identify the services running. It quickly started creating one, trying hard to mimic Nmap, but it didn't write it in the file, so we had to remind it, and then it wrote the script in the file. Well, we're at the peak of laziness. After it finished the response, I had the script in my directory, and I ran it on my own web app, so we're not doing anything illegal. As you can see, we found 2 open ports. We can also view the help of the tool, and I also tried to run it on the Nmap scannable domain, and as you can see, it's working great. We can make changes and upgrades to it accordingly, but we don't have time for that yet. Then I asked it to write me a privilege escalation script for Linux, which includes all the latest techniques, including the latest copy fail bug. If you don't know about copy fail, it is the latest Linux bug, which can give you root access to almost every Linux distribution with just a few lines of Python code. Okay, it wrote us a script in Python, and I'm going to run it inside my own Linux system. As you can see, it has provided us with some juicy info, but it didn't do anything on copy fail. That's maybe because copy fail is new, like it was just found a week ago and this model doesn't have it, but it could search it up. Well, I asked it again to find it online, but after a few requests it found it but automatically exited with some random Chinese. Maybe because we're using a Chinese model. Lastly, I asked it a few final questions. I asked it to write me a simple Wi-Fi phishing page and host it on my local network on port 8090, and it refused to do that. So no, we can't create phishing pages with it. The next prompt was to write a simple keylogger in Python, but again, it refused that too. So now we know that it's not going to help us with things that fall in the gray area. But it's just one model, and it's the newest model. So maybe that's why it has a lot of restrictions. There are many older models that can help us with almost everything, but every model can help with ethical stuff. And we don't want to engage in illegal or gray activities, so we won't look into that. Well, that's all I've got for you in this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Also, if you want to support the channel, check out the first link in the description. That's all. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, happy hacking.